All this Extreme Festival of Motorsport action is proudly brought to you by Bridgestone Motorcycle Tyres, the Wellness Group, Zonte's Motorcycles, and Big Z Moto. Red Star Raceway, a purpose-built motorcycle circuit, the ideal conditions for racing today as well. And we're looking forward to round 2 of the Bridgestone Challenge. It is the first round of the Extreme Festival's regional championships here at Red Star Raceway. And combined with the cars, the bikes are ready to go now as well. Looks like that young man is really good to go. We're going to kick things off now with the Bridgestone Challenge. And it's great to see a big field of Bridgestone Challenge riders coming here to Red Star Raceway. And Dave is down in pit lane asking Henk Scaling why he's so late for qualifying.
Bike's 100%. Just figuring out where to get power and things like that. So it was a bit of an organizational thing and getting the lap timer or the transponders. But yeah, it felt good. Should be okay. All the diminishing radius corners going anti-clockwise. Should be lots of fun.
Greg Maloney, I wonder if you know what the diminishing radius corner is.
Not quite sure on that one, Dave, but it is definitely anti-clockwise that we're running, and having run both ways here myself, it certainly is a very tricky circuit to get to grips with. Looking forward to some big action now, and great to have a new sponsor on board with us as well, as Wayne Spicer joins us from the Wellness Group.
Yeah, Greg, we've got Wayne Spicer from the Wellness Group looking really well down here, but Wayne, your grid position's not so well.
Yeah, well, look, we got a bit of an issue that we get. Unfortunately, we have to work for a living and we can't just come and play all the time. So we're starting quite far back in 18th and 20th. So it's going to be an exciting race. I think we've got some work to do, and yeah, we've got a couple of guys to pass.
Just remember, the race is not only one lap.
Yeah, I know, but we got the other 7 that we also need to do.
Greg, you got the news there. Wayne Spicer, look out for him coming from the back.
Looking forward to seeing how he's going to go through there. There's a couple of riders we need to watch from the back. Henk Scaling will be one of them. But as they make their way out into the circuit now, we're in for a big battle. 20 bikes about to go to battle here for the second round of Bridgestone Challenge. And the weather conditions are pretty ideal now, but there's a good possibility a little bit later on of a little bit of rain. Hopefully the motorcycles will be done and dusted by then, and we can get things all over. Lance Marais is on pole position though. Look out for him with Byron Rothwell on that front row, and Hein McMahon and Ian Thomas pushing hard. Wadvala didn't quite have what he wanted down on the third row, and then as we get into the second group, Mark Wakeling definitely looking to improve with Francois de Villiers to make his way up, try and catch Savannah Woodward at the top end. Zadie Williams at the back there, but as we said, watch out for Spicer and Scaling. Rolling to the line now with Byron Rothwell. He'll make his way to the front row of the grid. It's going to be a really, really tough start for these guys. Remember, this is the opposite way round to what they did the last time they were here. So there's a little bit of work to be done now for these riders. Hein McMahon is certainly not going to be looking to do any alterations to the motorcycle on the grid like he did at Swartkops, which caught him out. And hopefully they're going to be just right at the front end and pushing hard. Harwood will be pushing hard as well. So will Tyrese Roberts, who makes a welcome return to the 600cc category here. It's been a long time since he's been involved in action on two wheels. As we're about to get to go now, let's see who's going to have what it takes down towards turn 1, Bridgestone chicane. 1 minute board is up now, waiting for those lights to go on. The 5-second board, lights go on, and we're about to go racing. Stand by for action down towards Bridgestone chicane. Here they go. Down towards turn 1, a good start there. Looks like Nassi Wadvala making up a little bit of ground. We're on board with Ian Harwood as we go into Bridgestone corner on the TRP Bridgestone Kawasaki. But a couple of guys just mugging him through there. One of them being HP Source. And a good run there from Harry Potgieter on the 675 Triumph as he just squirts through and gets ahead. Watch for the additional power now from Harwood as they go down the back straight for the first time. This is almost a kilometre long. A little bit of extra power there from the 1000cc allows him to go flying past not only HP but Brad Apsel as well on the Ridgeway Race Bar bike as he heads late braking as always for the Brothers in Racing Machine. Pitching it into the left-hander now, and as you can see down at that left-hander, it's slightly off camber and downhill, and you can see just how difficult that corner is to make, especially when you're coming from a top speed of most of these 600s and 1000cc's. Savannah Woodward is in that little pack as well, fighting with Brad and with HP as they go through the kink and up towards the dog bone for the first time. Out front though, as I said, it was Wadvala that got off the line incredibly quick, and he hole shot it down into turn 1 and now leads out. Byron Rothwell not too far behind him, and a good start there from Tyrese Robert. He actually leads out the 600cc at this stage, and the battle there is going to rage just behind him for the second places. Tyrese right there with Hein McMahon as they go through out of the dog bone and up back onto the shelf. He's looking for a way to get through on these thousands. It's Wadvala that leads out Byron Rothwell there, just behind Lance Marais, and then it's Ian Thomas. Good start there, as I said, from Tyrese. He's just behind Hein McMahon, the first of the 600s, and trying to stay with those 1000cc's, but on the straights, this is where he's going to lose out. The second battle is going to start to close him down, though, and that's the one between Harry Potgieter, Ian Harwood, Brad Apsel, and probably Savannah Woodward. Big triple right-hander now. There's a move around the outside from McMahon. Slicky looking for a way past. Oh, he tucks on the inside. Oh, he sits Thomas up. Sits Ian Thomas up there through the triple right-hander and makes a move. He went around the high side, then just cut back, and I don't think Ian Thomas saw him coming back. We're on board here now with Byron Rothkol as we head down towards turn number 11, and hard on the brakes to try and close down here on Lance. And Lance Marais is having a super run there. Remember, this is the second time out for him on that ZX10, getting used to the big 1000, and certainly showing exactly what he's got in terms of talent. Nice run here from Spicer as he starts to make his way through the field. He's up to about 15th overall in this first lap. So he's ticked off about 4 or 5 bikes in this class so far as he comes up and across the line. As the leaders come through there now, it won't be too far before the rest of them come over the line to complete this first lap. Thomas dropping back ever so slightly. Remember, he'll be fighting for Masters Honours there. He'll be looking for taking the Masters Honours at this stage because he is leading that out. And he's just ahead of Ian Harwood, who's sitting in amongst those 600cc's and pushing them to the limit. There they come. Harwood just ahead and the rest of them squeezing through. De Villiers on the Suzuki coming through there as well. Nice run from him. He's sitting just outside of that top 10. Down the back straight away they go again, and late on the brakes, you can see there a change-up as Byron Rothkol has found a way through and got ahead of Lance Marais. It becomes the meat in the sandwich between the S1000 RRs that are sitting 2nd and 4th on the road. So the third place man now trying to close things down and get back at Rothkol. Looks like they've left Ian Thomas ever so slightly. Looks like they've also left the 600cc there of Tyrese Roberts, and hopefully he'll be able to close that gap down. He's going to worry about the 600s behind him. Brad Apsel's coming along for the ride. So is Savannah, and watch out for Harry Potgieter. As we head through there, you can just see how tight it's getting. And all of a sudden, Hein McMahon starting to close that gap down even more. Here's Harwood on the brakes. Watch out for some 600s, possibly going to try and mug him through this big left-hander. It's off camber downhill. Then it's a right-hand sweep that they go through as they head up towards the dog bone. This man coming out there and looking good so far. And you can see it is all about Nassif Vodvala. Since he hit the front, he has not been bettered. But there's big action behind him there. With McMahon now putting it on the back wheel. That's how hard he's trying to get onto that short straight to get past Lance Marais. Oh, it's a tricky corner to get right on anything, I can tell you. Whether you're in a car or a motorcycle, this way around or the other way around, this triple left or triple right, depending on which way you go, is an exceptionally difficult corner to get right. Ian Harwood seems to have got it right. He's closed down now on Tyrese Robert on the Suzuki. And that old GSXR 600 is being closed down rapidly here by the man from TRP and Bridgestone. Rothkol still hanging on for second. Can he keep it all together now and keep out Marais? Marais right there with him. Lance is not going to let Byron have this that easily, but he's having to worry about Hein McMahon, who's just behind. In fact, if I look in the background, McMahon just slowed up there ever so slightly. Hein McMahon might have a little bit of a problem. I think that bike might have gone back into neutral. Definitely not in neutral there for Schlebusch, a little bit further back, and the battle's continuing right through the field. Oh man, this is good. Mark Wakeling, I did say, was going to be in for a bit of a fight, and he's in with it big time as he comes up there with Michael Dixon just ahead of him. And watch out as he starts to make his way through there. Martin Veed, who should have been on 1000cc and had to borrow one of the Lacquer racing bikes. Oh, problems. Oh, that's a leader. That's Nassif Vodvala, who's gone off there at the bottom end of the long straight. So it's now Byron Rothkol who hits the front, and he's got clean and clear air. Lance Marais can see an opportunity now for a possible win, and he's going to hound the back end. Vodvala is back on track. Look at that. Right behind the 9.9 there of Lance Marais. The fast bike racing boys here working together. But I think Vodvala's R1 is a slightly younger model than that ZX10. And yes, there you go. A little bit of extra power from the R1. Just squirts past his teammate and gets up to second. Can he find a way past on Byron Rothkol? Is Rothkol going to be able to keep him out? This is going to be a great battle to the end here. 3000s and waiting for the checkered flag. Byron Rothkol has to go defensive. Ian Harwood has gone defensive and kept the 600s out. But it's been a very tough battle. Harry Potgieter and Brad Apsel are right on his tail. Here's the lead. Oh, it's a change-up for the lead. There you go. Vodvala just squeezing through and finding a way past. He's got 2 corners to go, and he's timed it to perfection. He made a small mistake there. I think it might have been a braking issue on that R1. It's a hard braking circuit, this. And remember, they're going to battle a little bit with the heat conditions right now. As it cools down in the day, that might get better. But right now, the hottest rider out there is Vodvala. And despite that mistake, he's still been able to get that fast bike R1 back on track to take the victory. Has a big look back. Oh, that's cheeky. Right into the face of Byron Rothkol as he comes across the line. Checkered flag is out, and Vodvala takes the win and the 1000cc class ahead of Byron Rothkol and Lance Marais. Great ride there from Ian Thomas and Harwood. They first and second in the Masters category, and Harry Potgieter beats out Brad Apsel for the 600s. Welcome back to Red Star Raceway, and looking forward to action now from Heat 2 of the Bridgestone Challenge. And Dave's down in pit lane catching up with Ian Harwood.
Are you looking forward to race 2 clearly, Ian?
Absolutely. I hope I can get a better start than I had in race 1 because I buggered that one up completely and had to make a lot of maneuvers to get through it, but I got through it well. I think I wound up 5th, which was a good result as far as I'm concerned.
Any advice for Greg Maloney because he's standing by to talk to us straight after this?
He needs to get faster so he can come ride with us.
That's it, Greg. You got the message. Let's go with it.
All right, the challenge is on there, Ian Howard. I'll be at the next one, hopefully. Here we go, Brad Absol's point of view. And looking back straight into one of the fastest Suzukis in the country. It's one of the only Suzukis that races in the country. At the back, though, is Tyrese Robert, who's made a welcome return and got that bike sorted out. He had some problems right in the latter part of race number 1. And watch out for the little 600 coming through the pack rapidly. Down into turn 1, though, it is once again Wadvala who gets the whole shot. And Lance Murray follows him through. So it's fast bikes 1 and 2. The Magic bike there in third place of Byron Rothwell. He'll certainly be looking for changing things up. Oh, side-by-side action there between the 600 and 1000cc Suzukis as they came out of Bridgestone chicane. At the back, Zadie Williams pushing hard and just staying ahead there of Schlebusch. Nice little fight expected between the two of them. Speaking of fights, it's already on. Oh, Byron Rothwell got great drive down the long straight for the first time there and nearly got up the inside, but Lance Murray was better on the brakes. Behind them at Scaling. Look at that's a great start there from Hank Scaling. He didn't have to come from the back of the field this time, so this is a lot easier for him. And he's fighting hard now for a potential top 5 overall and for an overall in the Masters as well. This is a great fight at the front end. Byron Rothwell trying to close things down. At the back, though, watch out for Chris Marie Schlebusch coming through there on the Rich Racing Kawasaki 600. Looking pretty good at this stage, getting to grips with the bike, and nice to have another young lady involved in racing. How tight you like it at the front end there. Lance Murray closing in right onto the back end of Nasib Wadvala, and side by side here between the two. Hank Scaling is in trouble. Han McMahon once past, Ian Thomas just behind that. Then HP Source on the 675. That triumph is spectacular around this circuit. I know from personal experience. Now on the brakes, and Byron Rothwell is just sitting pretty waiting here. Is there possibly going to be a little bit of an in-house fight there between the two fast bike boys? Mark Wakeling closing on the back end now, looking for a way around and going around the high side of Cliffy Ogle. Ogle shuts the door, doesn't line through. Wakeling fighting hard there, the two ZX10s. Slightly older machinery versus newer machinery, and as they come down towards turn 1, this is Bridgestone chicane. It's very tight stuff. Oh, a little moment there. Oh man, that's big there, unfortunately, and it ended up the wrong way for Lance Murray. Murray just pitched it in and looked to turn in, but unfortunately, on his inside was his teammate. You can't put and lean on your teammate. He's now stuck on the sideline and walking away from the motorcycle, fortunately, but that is a big change up at the front end. Nasib Wadvala looks straight back at him as he tried to do it, and Tyrese Roberts is looking straight at Henk Scaling now, looking for a chance to close him down. Look at that. There you see the difference between 600cc's and 1000s. 1000cc just pulling away from the youngster as he goes down to the bottom corner. Let's have a look at that again. You can see Lance Murray just came in. He tried to pitch it onto the left-hand side. Unfortunately, the bike was in the way there, and there was no way you could turn in. And Lance just making a small mistake and ending up out of this race. Wadvala continues though, and Byron Rothwell thinks, hang on a second, there might be a little chink in the armor here. Maybe he's feeling a little bit rattled after seeing his teammate come and tap the back wheel. So now Byron Rothwell looking for an opportunity to go and take on Nasib Wadvala on this last lap. Ian Thomas will looking for another victory in the Masters category, and the 600s is still up for grabs. Look how tight it is there. All fighting with Harwood. You've got Tyrese Robert up there as well, just behind the two bikes of the Masters side of things. Hank Scaling and Ian, and the checkered flag on standby now as the 2000s go side by side. Byron Rothwell going to try and outdrag the R1 to the line. Can he do it? No, he can't. Wadvala hangs on, takes the victory in the 1000cc class. Tyrese Roberts is going to hang on for the 600cc win as well. Ian Thomas will take the Masters. What a great day for Bridgestone Challenge. Another 2 phenomenal races here at Red Star Raceway. And Dave's down in the pits with double winner, Nasib Wadvala.
I just want to say sorry to my partner, Lance Murray. We're actually going into turn 1, and I looked at him, I seen him brake, so I thought, okay, let me go. And then I just felt him touching on my rear wheel, and then when I looked behind, I seen him come off.